Hello and welcome to the channel. And if you're following the channel, a return to our build of the 1/24th scale Revell 65 Chevy Stepside pickup truck. And this was a kit that was just a throwaway kit someone had started years and years ago and packed it up in a box and just left it for years. And we pulled it out after they give it to us, and we started to work on it. So there were no decals. None of this decal stuff or anything were included in it, but the kit is complete. And, well, here we are so far. So basically, what we're going for is something in between these two. And we're not going to go super, super dirty, and we're not going to go super, super clean. But we've, last time we got the paint on, we got our roof painted, we got our interior painted, roughly, generally. And so, yeah, now I think we're ready to start final assembly. So here's a look at our rustic interior with our camel brown beige interior. We got a little, I think a report of the engine that he's picking up here in the back. So we've 3D printed a couple skids a while ago. We decided to use here and put some straps holding an engine under a tarp that's going to go inside underneath. So that can set aside for now. So we have our wood box. We got our for sale sign there. But anyways, we've got just sort of mocked up here. And what I've started doing is I've started putting some wires to making some wires to go from the distributor to the engine. And we have also got some different sizes of wire here for oh, this is the same size. So I've got wires here for black and for yellow for our spark plug wires. And then I also had this other size wire. It's a little bit bigger, and that's going to work nice for the hose, the line, brake line coming from the master cylinder here. And then that I drilled a little teeny hole right in there with our little micro drill bit, and it's just big enough to fit that right in there. So now we'll be able to fit our little line right in there and feed that down here. We'll just clip it off down the bottom where you lose sight of it, but anyways, that'll be going to our brake. So there's our little brake line that can get glued. We have our hoses ready to go, and then we'll be into our bumpers and stuff. So we've got our basic wheels falling off, but we have our cab. You know, we just put some stickers in the back window like you do, and we just started sort of grimeying up the front. And what I used here was just on top, I used smoke, and I just really thinned it down. And I've got sort of a bit of stuff going on here on the roof. I'm just letting it sort of weather naturally as I'm working on it. Some, you know, but whatever. I'm just letting it get dirty like it would. And then around here for the engine soot and stuff, I use that smoke. And it seems to be, I like it, at least a subtle effect. Like it's dirty in there, but it's not super grimy. So here's our spare tire. We've got that ready to go. And we have our hitch, which is ready to go on. Got our trailer hitch, generally sort of weathered up a bit. And we have our box here ready to go, and I have these two pieces that go on here. Oh, like this, like that. They sort of sit right in there, like so. If I can get it to sit there, we'll get these glued in now that they're painted. Whoop, get in there, you. There we go. So they're going to sit in there like such, generally. Like that sort of thing. Ooh. So we got to get those glued on. We'll get them on. Our heater goes in here. Our air breather can go on top. So, our fan shroud can go on. I think that goes on right onto here, right onto our radiator. And then we're just down to clear parts and putting the rims together. So we've got our rim backs here. We just got to paint these. So we'll get these painted black. But yeah, we're basically getting down to the final assembly. I think she's starting to come along looking pretty cool. Once we get our load in it and stuff, we got our sun faded worn in interior. And we've got our nicely, weathered but maintained wood box in the back with our motor and skid. So yeah, and I basically just sort of went with a light weathering. I took after we painted. Let me just get this wheel free here. After we painted the frame black, I just went over it with some. Where's my bottle? Right here. I just gave it a really light spray with the LP18, which is like a deep, deep, dull red. And I like the way it sort of leaves that sort of rusted, mottled sort of type of finish. So we'll put some, pin wash around on here and let it get sort of dirty. But I thought, yeah, for our initial look, I think that's looking pretty good underneath. And so, yeah, I'll get these wires glued into place. And we'll get this engine wired up so that it's looking like it's been wired. And we will try our best to get this looking like a real engine. Oh, my paint's flaking off. Is it? No. Yeah, it looks like it's flaking off a little bit. There we go. I guess that's to be expected when you're bending it as much as you are. But yeah, we'll get these wires put in generally, and then our air breather goes on top, just like this. That's going to get pushed right down in, but basically it's going to sit something like such. And there's giving us our sort of, used but broken in engine. And we also did the underside of the hood, so it's got that sort of sooty sort of look to it. And I think that's sort of working good. Okay, well, first off, here we go. We've got... There isn't a wire or a hose, a wire. There isn't a hose that comes out of the master cylinder out the end there. They come out the side, and they're little curly ones. So we made some. And I think you can see in there, and we noticed that, there are those flex line curled up like that. And so we added those in there, and we kind of got those going in down there. So now that the glue's kind of set, I can sort of get in there with me tweezers, right, and just sort of, manipulate it down so they're out of sight, so to speak. I think I'll hold it up here and just pull it down from below. This is pretty flexible wire, so that's pretty easy. But anyways, there's our flex lines. Oops. Hey, get down there, you. And there's our spark plug wires, and got some wires going in there. So basically, we started with some enamels. So we got the panel liner in for the door, and I've just sort of slowly going. I'm starting with this is AK Interactive, and it's streaking grime for Panzer Gray, and it's basically an enamel, and I'm sort of using that with well, basically that's about all I'm using. I use the Tamiya panel liner for the door, for around the door and stuff, but then along the bottom, I've just started to play with the enamels, and I've just started to kind of get grime where I figured where his hands, dirty hands, are going to be grabbing the door, right, opening and closing. And then where I don't want it, I'm just, moistening up a brush and, getting some thinners on it and just blending it as I go. And I'm liking the way that the thinners work because they're very forgiving. Like, you can go back, bring them back alive, move them around a bit if you want. So yeah, we basically just started adding a little bit of, the signs of dirt. It's a, maintained truck, but it is working, so it's a working truck. And I just try to, get a little bit of that. Now we've done a little bit around the wheels, the white walls, just to get them so, they don't look like they're made of plastic. And I think I might have to sort of get a matte coat on this maybe to get anything to stick to the chrome. I haven't gone as far as to get a black wash in there yet, but we're ready to do the other side, I think, and then start evening things out. And overall, I think we're starting to get a pretty cool look, actually, for an old weathered work truck. So what I think I'm going to do is I'll get the enamels on this side. Let's get the panel lining on. Oops, we got some stuff stuck to me paint here. Oh, jeepers. Wowzers. Big scratch, hey. Oh, what should we do? I guess we could do that in with some metal. Hey, we'll put some scratches to it. It's been nicked. Well, jeepers. That just goes to show you. Alright, well, let's get our black panel liner on, and then we'll decide how our metals are going to go. Oop, this rim isn't glued yet. Guess we could pop you off ever so gently. If gently is a way I can pop you off. Oh. I might as well do this before. Why aren't you? Oh, come on. Oh, I think I'll just leave you on. I'll glue you in place. Alright, we'll just leave you for now. This one too. These are the two rims on either opposite corner that didn't really want to take with the glue. But let's get our panel liner in. Just basically want to just get it to stay in the door. I'll start it. Oop. Let's get this out of the way first. Let's just get this lined up. Ooh, it looks like I got a lot on there. There we go. There we go. Get that to go all the way down. That capillary action to get it all the way. There we go. We could probably get that to travel all the way down that line there. There we go. There she goes. There we go. Alright. I guess I might as well get in here. Yep. Right down. There we go. We got a line here. Those fill in. Here we go. I'll get the rest of the vent. Sure all these are nice and dark. There we go. Alright. And the wiper thing. Battery. Let's get Get a bunch on this. A little bit there. Looks like we could get a little bit there. Looks like some up here. A little bit around these nuts. See if I can get that to run right down there. There we go. Ooh. There we go. Maybe a little bit inside here underneath. Inside our engine compartment. A little bit. So we can add a wash to that later. Thin it out. Alright. Okay. Okay, we can let that set. Fix these wheels. Guess this isn't glued in, so I guess I can get some in here. Set you aside. Just over here a bit. There you go. We'll get some on here. Well, I guess that's it. Just fill that right up, eh? Gives that a real nice third dimension. Get in there. Is there a line? Oh yeah. There you go. What about this Chevy thing? Should we go for it? Oh, look. Ooh. Cool. More on it. Come on now. Lego. Okay. There we go. And there to make all those dark. Okay. Does that, and I'm thinking I can get these nuts. Here. Oops. Okay. Back bumper. Just have nuts too. Yep. Get some on there. We'll do these chains. There we go. Do this one. hair stuck on our... Alright, there we go. Okay, let's let that dry. Oh, I might as well get this other side. Get this. There we go. Oops, sorry. Get all that around there. Down on that side. Down on that side. There we go. Alright. Okay. So that's set. Now we panel lined the other side, let it dry, and I weathered the top. And I just used, what I used was my flat brush here. And instead of dry brushing, I got a little bit of it in the deck tan. And I dried it right out like you would for dry brushing. But then what I did was I used the same brush instead of dry brushing to apply some Future. And I just applied this. I got a little Future. I keep a little jar here. And I applied it on the top, and you can see that it made it like a stain out of it. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to look like it'd been stained, rubbed, scratched, ladders on top of it. You know, stuff like that. Camper. Maybe he's got like one of those campers that fit on the back kind of thing. And I thought that sort of actually really made it look actually kind of realistic, actually. So we'll let all this dry for a bit, and then we'll be able to come back. We'll be able to put the last of our hubcaps on, and the last of our doodads should be able to go together. Last little latches and stuff, and we've got our engine in complete, and I think we're going to be close to being done of a 65 Stepside, and then we can get started into our next project. We've even got our load here with our engine. Got our big engine here on the skid tied down with our tie downs and stuff. I think it looks pretty cool. Alright, well, patience is divine, so for me, a little bit of patience getting these little fiddly bits together. We still got some chrome bits to go on. Got the mirror I got to reach in and glue up in here. I forgot to put that on inside before I glue the interior, but I have a reachy pair of tweezers I'm pretty sure I can get. And if I can't, I'm just going to lay it on the dashboard. Right? But we've got our rear tail lights to put in, our lenses to put in, our headlight lenses. Right? And I think somewhere, oh yeah, and we've got our tail light lenses here. So yeah, last little bits of pieces, and then we're completed our 65 Chevy. I'm really digging this truck, man. I'm digging this kit. I know I always say this, but it's always true. It's always true, man. This is modeling great. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Okay, so we've definitely got some like little paint chipping and stuff to do, I guess, here and there. But overall, I think she's coming along nicely. Yeah, I'm liking it. Cool. All right. Well, we'll let this dry, and then we'll come back, clean it up, and we'll basically get our lenses on and do a final.